Carla, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I have some plans to go out and eat with some friends tomorrow. So if you could come and pick me up around 11 to take me there, that would be lovely.
Hello, Rhonda. Thank you for reaching out. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to be at work tomorrow. I don't think that I'll be able to make it over to your house by 11.
Work? What do you mean, work? I thought that you worked from home. I don't see how needing to work tomorrow would keep you from coming to get me when you'll be at home all day anyway.
I know, and I really am sorry, but something's come up, and I'm just not going to be able to leave.
Oh, come on. This will be really, really quick, I swear. You'll come pick me up at 11, and I promise that you'll be home before even noon. It will just take a second.
I'm sorry, Rhonda, but I really don't think that it will. I know how much time it takes to go to your house and drive you around. So I think that tomorrow you'll have to find someone else to drive you, or else take an Uber or the bus or something.
No, that is just unacceptable. You aren't allowed to deny me this, Carla. Besides, I already told my friends that my daughter-in-law would be joining us for lunch.
But this is the first that I'm hearing about these plans, and now you're telling me that they're tomorrow?
I thought I told you that I would only allow you to work if you were going to do it from home, specifically so that I could have you do things for me when I needed them. But if you can't even do that, then you should just go back to being a housewife. Because clearly you still don't understand the fact that you should always be putting your mother-in-law first.
Please, Rhonda, that isn't fair. I've finally found something that I really want to do. I don't want to quit my job.
But when you have a kid, you're going to have to quit your job, won't you?
That wasn't what my plan was at all, actually. I was thinking that I would still work even after I have a child.
Now you listen to me, young lady. You are going to come and pick me up when I tell you to, and that is that. Unless you rather I tell all my friends just to show up at your house and have lunch there.
Okay, Rhonda, you win. I'll pick you up tomorrow if that's what you really need from me.
You should have just said that you would in the first place. Then we wouldn't have had to waste our time fussing over this pointlessly. I can't believe that you would even try to lie to me about getting in the way of your work schedule. Did you really think I was going to buy that?
But I wasn't lying to you. I guess now I'll just have to stay up all night working so that I don't miss the deadline for this tomorrow.
If you had that option, then you should have said that's what you were going to do in the first place. But remember that you're going to be driving me around tomorrow, so you better not get us into an accident. Do you understand me? Because if anything does happen, then I'm going to make sure that everyone knows it's all your fault. Got it?
I understand. Thank you for making that perfectly clear to me.
Also, I want to trace back to what you were talking about earlier about keeping your job even after you've had a child. Does that mean that you and my son are actually thinking about having a child together then?
Well, if we can, I would really like to have a child with Ben, yes.
I see. And here I thought that you two were never ever going to give me any grandchildren. After all, you two have been married a whole year, and there has been nothing on that front.
I understand that, but I do want you to know that Ben and I have talked about it. In fact, it was Ben who suggested that we wait a little bit before trying for one.
But if you wait too long, then your ovaries are going to shrivel up and you'll run out of eggs. I mean, you're already older than 30 years old, you know, and my daughter, who's still in her 20s, already has 2 kids. So it sounds to me like you two might have just been slacking off this whole time.
Rhonda, I am really sorry, but I just have to get back to work now, but we can talk more about this tomorrow if you'd like.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you're just sitting thinking about how obnoxious and horrible your mother-in-law is being to you right now, aren't you? Anyways, just remember to be at my house by 11. I don't want you getting here a minute sooner or later. And I don't want to hear any complaining about how I'm getting in the way of your work. And just know that if you don't show up, there is going to be serious hell to pay. Hello there, Carla. I just wanted to say thank you so much for yesterday's meal. I really loved how you made it so flavorless and bland. Did you do that just for me? Because you don't think old people can handle flavor? Or do you also subject my poor son to that kind of cooking, too?
I'm really sorry that you had a problem with the dinner that I cooked last night. I only seasoned it the way that Ben says he prefers.
Wait, what? You're telling me that Ben actually says he likes his food tasting like that?
That is what he's told me in the past, yes.
Oh, but that can't be right. Sometimes I just don't know what goes on in that head of his. But I know that he must be lying to you.
I really don't think that my husband was lying about how I make him his food. In fact, he's always going on about how much he loves my cooking, if you really want to know.
And you still haven't realized that he's probably just saying that as to not hurt your feelings. I know what my son likes to eat, and let me tell you that it is not the slop that you were serving us last night. He likes thick flavor and rich smells. It sounds to me like someone would be better off cooking out of a recipe book than whatever led you to make whatever you did. Anyway, speaking of Ben, he's going away on his business trip today, isn't that right?
Yes, he's already left for the airport, actually. Why do you bring that up?
Oh, perfect. That's just what I wanted to hear. In that case, I want you to come to my house tomorrow. I'm going to teach you how to cook and make it so that you can actually dish out something served for once.
Sorry, you want me to go over to your house tomorrow? I don't think that will work. I'll be working then.
Oh, there you go again, trying to use your work to get out of doing what I tell you to. So you're really telling me that you don't think you need any kind of training? Are you okay? Were you dropped on your head as a child or something? Because if you're going to be like this, I might just have to take it upon myself to make you quit your job.
Rhonda, I think that Ben already talked to you about this, didn't he? He told you that it's my choice whether or not I want to work and that you shouldn't try and interfere with the fact that I am working. Now, this is something that Ben, not me, has said to you, right? So why haven't you stopped?
Oh, so now you're telling me that I have to listen to whatever my sons tell me to do. I think you're forgetting who's really in charge here.
That isn't what I meant, but I'm just trying to tell you that I'm not going to be quitting my job just because it's something you want me to do.
How dare you say that? You're just going to ignore what your mother-in-law has to say to you?
I'm not ignoring. I am very much listening to what you have to say. I'm just telling you that I'm not going to quit my job because you want me to.
Now you listen here, young woman. I am your mother-in-law, and when I say jump, the only thing I should be hearing from you is how high. You really need to learn your place in this relationship. You're already on thin ice by not coming to live with me. How dare you take away my eldest son when he should be staying at home taking care of his mother in her advanced years?
I'm really sorry to tell you this, Rhonda, but not living with you was actually Ben's idea.
But he only reached that decision because of all the pressure that you were putting on him, weren't you? Well, you aren't going to control me like that, I can tell you that much. In fact, you should be trying to change his mind and telling him that you both should come and live with me. That's the least a daughter-in-law could do for her mother-in-law.
Well, I'm sorry, but I just don't really see that happening, Rhonda.
You really are just a terrible person, do you know that? Just the worst. I have no idea what my silly son was thinking when he decided it would be a good idea to marry you. Even his sister was smart enough to move in with her husband's family. And now she spends her days from sun-up to sundown being a loyal daughter-in-law to her in-laws.
And I am sure that that is her way of trying to get along with her husband's family. I would really like it if we could find a way to get along too.
Oh, please, of course you don't. If you really did, then you would just shut up and do as I tell you. But I know that your real goal is to keep turning my son against me until he wants nothing to do with me. But it's you and Ben who should end things.
And just what do you mean by that?
What do you think I mean by that? I mean that the two of you should get a divorce. After all, what's the point of being married if you're not even pregnant yet? As far as I'm concerned, that just makes you useless. And at least if the two of you did break up, then Ben might be able to find a decent wife for himself.
Rhonda, I think that you're being unreasonable right now, and I really don't like you suggesting that Ben and I should get a divorce. In fact, that thought has never ever crossed either of our minds.
Well, if you don't want my son to leave you, you better start pulling your weight around here. And you can start doing that by showing up to my house tomorrow. It's high time you learn what it means to be a good wife and daughter-in-law. And I don't want to hear any excuses about how you can't come because of your job.
Okay then, I'll go to your house tomorrow, but let's please just try to get along. Oh, hey there, Kate. Sorry I wasn't able to take your calls. There was actually something that I was wanting to talk to you about as well, so maybe we should arrange a time we can both talk.
Carla, I want to know what your deal is. How can you hurt my mom like that? My mom called me out to go and visit her at home, and she was bleeding from her head. She told me that you did that to her. What's the matter with you? I'm going to call the cops on you.
I don't think that there's any need for you to go and do that.
What are you talking about? You think I'm just going to let you get away with this?
No, I'm not trying to get away with anything, and I'm not trying to run away. It's just that the police are already on their way over there, so tell your mom to get ready for that.
And just what is that supposed to mean? Did you go to the cops or something?
I did, actually. I filed a report against your mom, if you must know.
Hold on a second. What are you even talking about right now, Carla? You hurt my mom and made her bleed, and yet you're the one trying to file a report against her? Or did you just turn yourself in? I don't get what's going on here.
That much I already know, but the fact of the matter is that your mom was the one who hurt me when she pushed me down the stairs.
Wait, what? I'm still confused. Now you're telling me that my mom fell down some stairs? But what about her bleeding head injuries?
I don't know about that, but I was the one who fell down the stairs while she just stood there and watched.
Carla, are you telling the truth about all of this?
Of course I am. I don't have any kind of video evidence, if that's what you're after, but I do have an audio recording of it happening. I suppose that will have to serve as the proof that I have of what happened.
You were recording the whole thing? But why? I'm still just confused here.
I made a recording so that I would have proof of all the horrible things that your mom was saying to me. And it wasn't just this one time that she was doing this. She's been treating me horribly ever since I married your brother. I have talked about this with Ben, and it's getting to the point that we're thinking of just cutting communication off with your mom entirely.
I don't believe it. Was my mom really bullying you? I really had no idea.
Well, I'm very sorry that you had to find out like this. To be honest, it was something that I didn't want you to get dragged into.
No, you don't have to apologize to me. I'm the one who should be sorry. I mean, I had no idea that this was going on this whole time.
I appreciate you saying that, but you shouldn't feel guilty about this either, you know? I thought that if I just kept it to myself, that your mom and I would be able to work things out between ourselves, but I guess there was never even a chance of that happening, and I see that now.
You know, I also know what it's like to have your in-laws bully you.
What do you mean by that?
It's just that, well, my husband's parents have also been bullying me ever since I moved in with them.
You're kidding me, but when your mom talks about it, she makes it sound like things are going great for you. But I guess I never did ask you yourself about how things are going.
I know, but it's really okay. I understand the feeling of not wanting to bother others with what you think is something you can handle on your own. But this isn't about me. It's about you and my mom. I'll tell her what you've told me and explain to her that she's in big trouble.
I really am so sorry for sucking you into this, Kate, but thank you so much for understanding.
Of course I understand. And thank you for telling me about this. Carla, are you there? I was wondering if you and I could have a little chat. Maybe I could go over to your house and we could discuss things just the two of us.
I thought that both of your children made it very clear to you that you are not to get near me, no?
Of course. But then maybe I should just text you about what I wanted to talk about. I just really want to apologize for what happened the other day. I really didn't mean to do it on purpose, and I want you to know that.
Really? Because I've replayed it in my head over and over again, and I don't see how it could have been anything but intentional. I even recorded the things you were saying to me right before it happened, right before you shoved me down those stairs. So I really don't think that anyone is buying that what you did was accidental.
Well, okay, so I gave you a small little push, but it was just a little joke.
I don't care if you thought it was a joke. It resulted in me breaking some bones. Not only that, but then you tried to tell people that I was the one who shoved you down the stairs.
You're right, but it was just because I was so worried that people might blame me.
Well, they should. It was all your fault that I fell in the first place. What is even the point of this conversation? I'm leaving.
Wait, no, Carla, don't. Because I really am so sorry about this. Can't you go to the police and explain to them that this was all a big mistake?
But it isn't a mistake. We know exactly what happened, and you did what you did on purpose.
Please, I really didn't mean to. I swear to never do anything like that to you ever again. Besides, it's not like you didn't do anything to me. Right as you were falling, you took a swipe at me. If you had actually hit me with it, I could have been really hurt.
I see. So you really think that those two things are equivalent, then? I don't know why I thought that you might actually have reflected on what you did.
No, please don't go. I really have thought about what I did. I know that it was wrong of me to do that to you. So, can you please just talk to my children and tell them to not leave me? I don't know how I'm supposed to live with myself if they leave me like this. I need you to forgive me so that they can forgive me too.
You have got to be kidding me, right? You want me to forgive you for totally selfish reasons?
But if you don't do this for me, then I'm never going to be able to see my family ever again. Don't you realize that? I just need you to go talk to my children and the cops and tell them that this was all just one big mistake.
And just why should I go and do all of this for you when you haven't even given me a real apology? You're asking for all of this just for your own benefit when you haven't shown any remorse for what you've done to me.
Look, I know that I might have pushed you down the stairs and that you hurt yourself falling down, but you have to realize that I didn't have that much family left. I mean, my kids are basically all I have left now, and if I don't have them, then who am I supposed to have to take care of me when I get older?
Incredible. I really just don't even know what to say to that. But honestly, it isn't up to me how your children decide to interact with you.
But you could change their minds if you just told them that you weren't mad at me anymore. Please, I need them to forgive me for this. I'm begging you here. You don't know what this is going to do to me. I don't have any more kids in my life.
You can beg me for this all you want, but I don't think that anything is going to change until you realize that you've done this all to yourself. I've tried explaining to you over and over again that I had my own life and career to worry about, and yet you constantly kept trying to control me. Then Ben went away for his business trip, and you tried to wedge yourself into my life even more than before. And all the while you were saying all kinds of terrible things to me. Did you think that I wasn't being patient with you? That I didn't have my own limits of what I would take from you? That you could just treat people like that without any consequences?
I am so sorry, Carla. You have to believe me. I mean, you know that I never really wanted you and Ben to get divorced, right? I was just saying a bunch of stupid things. I just hoped that if I talked to you like that it might have pushed you to be a better wife.
And that's why you had to push me down the stairs? How was that supposed to make me into a better wife, huh?
I just wasn't thinking in that moment, and my arms just moved of their own, I swear. You have to forgive me. It was just an accident.
I have already told you that I am not going to forgive you for what you did to me.
But I'm your mother-in-law, your husband's mother. You can't just cut me out of your lives like that.
For the last time, I am not the one making that decision. If you don't want your children to stop talking to you, then you need to go and talk to them. But as far as I'm concerned, you and I are not family.
Please, don't say anything. I am so sorry for everything. I promise to never ever try to interfere in your life ever again. I won't even be mean to you, and I won't order you around like I did before. I'll do all of that if you just say that you'll forgive me.
I really can't believe that you think that's what's going to solve all of this. An apology has no meaning if there's no intent behind it. I have to say that you are just not the person that I thought you were when we first met. I am nothing but disappointed in you.
Carla, I'm so sorry. For everything.
No, you're not. And that's the problem. But hopefully you've learned your lesson from this and can be a better mother-in-law in the future. Of course, it doesn't mean we'll ever let you back into our lives after what you've done. After that, Ben and I talked, and we finally settled on dropping the charges that I was going to press against his mother. Instead, we served her with the full bill for my injuries and made her sign on to a restraining order to keep her away from me. Although it was unlikely that the court would have sent a woman of her age to jail, our settlement was a good way to ensure that she would keep away from us. After that, I blocked her on every medium imaginable. I heard from Ben, however, that rumors were spreading around Rhonda's neighborhood about what she did to me. Apparently, Rhonda was so humiliated that she doesn't even leave the house anymore. Afraid of being known as the person who harmed her daughter-in-law and lost her family, Rhonda decided that she had to move away. Now, not even her children know where she is or what she might be doing these days. A few months later, I heard that Kate and her husband talked about what she was going through and that the two of them decided to move out of his parents' house. Ever since then, Kate has seemed much less stressed than before. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.